Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm coming to you today with the biggest smile on my face because the spring has finally arrived. I have the yellow cushions out, the sun is shining, it's beautiful 20 degrees, and we finally can get rid of some layers and go out and have an iced coffee in outdoors coffee shops, and that just makes me so incredibly happy. I have been a bit quiet and I haven't really been thinking about anything to record. I was contemplating to share the story of my move to London and how I moved there, because that's a very important story that I do want to share with you. But I decided that today I'm going to talk about choosing your own life. One of the things that I hear a lot of people asking me, and a lot of people saying to me actually, is that, wow, your life is so amazing, I wish I would have your life. That statement gets me really angry, and I know normally would push back and say, do you have children? Do you have mortgage? If you don't, then really you can do anything you want. You're not tied to things. If you don't have big responsibilities, you can pack your bags and leave. A lot of times the family is something big that sort of requires people to stay in certain places. But if you don't have that, if you're still young, you can go and do whatever you like. You know, the saying that you are the creator of your life, you know, if you can dream it, you can do it. Let's just step back and think about it. First, the book that really inspired me, and I'm gonna write about it in the description below, is Success Your Way, Do What You Meant to Do. So this is something that really made me think about my own life and my choices, and recently really challenged me. So I wanted to share this with you. And it talks about success, but it talks about happiness, and this video is about happiness and how to choose your own life. So they have something here. I can't find it because I didn't bookmark the page. But so first of all, there's a lot of different tasks and different things here for you to think about. So I really highly recommend this book. But it talks about the happiness scale and where do you put yourself in a scale from 1 to 10 in a happiness. And this is something that made me think about where people put themselves, comparing themselves to others. So for instance, my life is amazing. It is amazing for me, but I've made the choices and I have sacrificed other things. I chose to be free. I chose to travel. I chose to go from a place to place to place. And I am turning 29 very soon, and I still don't have family. I don't have children. I don't have home. I don't have mortgage. I don't have all those stability things that a lot of people are craving. So for anyone who says, I want your life is amazing, I want you to think about it. Do you really, are you really ready to sacrifice the things that make you feel comfortable and the things that you love? There are people who really want to have a very stable job, and they would get the education and the degree and the bachelor's and the master's, and then they would go on to continuing their career, because that ladder and something that's ahead of them and the goal they want to achieve is actually what's pushing them. In my case, I have to constantly find that ladder. I have to find what's ahead of me, what's pushing me, what is really motivating me, because I'm not satisfied by achieving a higher position, a better office, a bigger office, a better view in my environment, in my career. So that is a very big difference. So when we look at the scale from 1 to 10, where do we put ourselves? Let's take, I always like to take a simple job, for instance, accountant. Somebody, a young woman who's always wanted to be accountant, that was been her dream because she loves stability and she loves simple things, and she wants to save up for a car or for an apartment, and she likes to travel maybe once or twice a year, but really she's very happy being an accountant. So really on that scale from 1 to 10, she's probably somewhere hovering around 8 or 9. It's not very healthy to be a 10, because if you're always a 10, you never want to be a bit more, or get a bit more, or have that better view in the office, or get that better car or apartment. So, you know, 8 or 9 is a very good place to be. So she's hovering around 8 or 9. And then social media, the enemy that we have these days, which is constantly there for us, reminding us that we're not enough of this, or we're not enough of that. You know, she opens up her social media account, and maybe she follows certain accounts and certain people, and maybe she sees travelers, and all of a sudden her thought of what she wants is skewed, and she starts thinking, oh, actually I am not really happy because I'm not traveling and I'm stuck here and I'm doing this and doing that. So maybe she goes down from 9 to 6, 5, 4, because for her, the traveling life and the excitement of new places and new locations all the time, that seems like in 10. So she finds herself in her office job somewhere around 4 or 5, and so she's really made this gap humongous. And so the thing is, the bigger the gap, the more unhappy we will be. We'll go back to that same accountant. Maybe that is someone's dream job and they don't care about traveling at all. And they feel around 8, 9 because they're happy because they're getting a promotion and they're getting, a bigger salary. And so they feel 8, 9. They go their Instagram or whatever they follow and they see someone traveling. They see someone like me without a family, without a house. And they think, oh, she's so irresponsible. Look at her. She doesn't have her stuff together. Like, she's like a lost cause. For somebody like that, they're not gonna all of a sudden go from feeling 8, 9 to feeling 4 or 5, because it's not something that they actually want. Like, they don't want being around the world all the time. They don't want feeling like insecure or just worried about what's the next thing that's gonna happen. So for them, whatever they see, their life and their job and their choice would still be that 8, 9, or 10. And that is what we want to do. We want to try and avoid comparing ourselves to other people. We want to try and really focus down on what it is that makes us happy. And just remember that indeed, it's so true that they say that you are the creator of your life. Think about the time when you were a child and think about the wildest dreams you had, the things that you wanted to do, to be an astronaut, a pilot, save the world, a Superman. And then, of course, as you grew older, those ambitions or those dreams became more narrowed down and they became more grown up, because we put ourselves in these boxes, in these shapes, and we start molding themselves into the society because we have to in some ways. Otherwise, people will think that we're crazy. And so a lot of our ambitions, a lot of our big dreams are really pushed down. And that's fine, because maybe, really becoming an astronaut can be maybe something that's way, way out of reach, or being very childish. When I was a child, my first ever dream job was to be a bank president. And it was because I thought that my duty or my job role would be just to sit and constantly count money and like gold blocks. Like, that was my dream. So that's a bit ridiculous. But then later on, I wanted to be an interior designer, and somebody told me, my parents probably, or an influencer around me told me that that's a ridiculous job. You're not going to make any money with it. Don't even think about it. I wanted to be a photographer. Also, like, don't even think about it. That's a hobby. That's not a job. So I was pushed and pushed in this shape that I have to be studying, and then I can decide what I want to do, but I have to study like a law or a marketing, whatever it is. And so I in my head thought, well, if I don't have a degree, I'm not going to be able to do anything. And the reality is that so many of us are just discouraged from our dreams because the society, because the friends, the people around us, the culture, and the media, the news, whatever we watch, we think that we have to be a certain way. And the reality is that you can be whatever you want to be. If you can dream it, you can do it. And you have to just close your eyes. Another exercise for you. Imagine if you would win $100 million. What would you do? Whichever way you're thinking, that's your direction. If I would win $100 million, without any doubt, I would continue traveling. I would go bigger. I would go bolder. I would do even more incredible, adventurous trips around the world. I would invest some of the money, and I would give some of the money to the people that I love and that they need more. But I would still continue putting it in travel. I wouldn't buy 10 more handbags or do something completely different. So for anyone who's saying to me, like, I love your life, you're so lucky, like, I wish I could live like you can do it. Like, just go and do it. Don't tell me you want it if you're actually wanting the stability. Don't tell me you want to travel when actually all you want is to have a home and have a relationship and have a family. Like, we have to make some choices and we have to choose some things, and by choosing some things we sacrifice other things. You have to keep that in mind. You know, they say that you have dance like nobody's watching. That's what you should maybe do in the night when you go to bed, or in the mornings when you wake up, when people don't see you. Think about what are the things that you really, really love, that are important to you, and switch off from that social media world, comparing yourself to others, and just really think about yourself. Like, what sparks your soul on fire? What are the things that you think about and you think, oh my God, I really love them? Don't discourage yourself and say that you can't do it. Just do it. Make those little steps and you'll be surprised. And you know, I don't want to be one of these insane, crazy people who give you, like, you know, more inspiration and you're probably already putting pause or you already left this video. But I hope I'm just maybe a kick in your butt to remind you that you can be whoever you want to be, and you can and you should dream big. And don't walk around looking at others and saying, oh, I want their life. I don't want accountant's life. I don't want to have a big career in an office environment and have a big team under me. It's not that's never been a vision of mine, and that never sets my soul on fire. I've always wanted freedom. Freedom in expression, freedom in my job, freedom in my schedule, and that's what I'm going towards. And so if you're somebody who actually finds freedom, or that creating your own schedule is a bit like not really your comfort zone, that's absolutely okay. That's absolutely okay. We can't all want to have freedom, but we also can't all want to have an office job or a cubicle job. So this book was a really incredible challenge for me. This book, I read it like a year ago, and for the first time it made me think about my motivations to study, and I realized that I've always studied because my family wanted me to study. Like, it was never something that, I'm not discouraging people from studying. I think it's incredibly important, but we live in these times where education is important, is available. It's important, but it's also available in different forms. You can find courses online, you know, you can find shorter courses that would be perhaps much more budget for people, that this wouldn't be, you wouldn't have to take like a loan or credit and pay thousands and thousands to sit through university, if that's not what you want. If that's what you want, if you want to be the best lawyer there is, then of course go for it. But then don't tell me that you love my life and you want to have my life and ask me, oh my God, how can you have your life? I chose my life. I have sacrificed things to have my life, and I love my life. There are bad days, of course. Today is just an incredible day because the sun is shining, but there are bad days. Overall, whenever I look through my photos and I look back at the things that I've done, I'm so proud of myself. I really am, and it's sometimes hard to admit, but I have to remind myself that my life is everything that I want it to be. So now, whenever I take the next steps, and whenever you take the next steps, I encourage you and myself to just be brave and think about what are those next steps. And you have to think beyond what you can imagine, because it's the power of thought is so incredible. Everything you see here, it's because somebody imagined it. Somebody imagined that we would have a light switch and the light bulb would turn on and we'd have a light. Somebody imagined the kettle, the freaking iPhone, somebody imagined. Like, it didn't just like pop up and disappear. So everything you see has been everybody's life, everybody who does something that's like bit out of ordinary, they imagined it and they're doing it. So try and just really think outside the box and put the society, the friends, the family, the finances aside, and just think, if you could do anything, if you would win the $100 million, what would you do? So this book, I'm gonna write in comments more about it, and be the creator of your own life. Be the creator, dream big, and just really follow your dreams. And I hope that my energy that I have on such high today inspires you. I hope you get that kick in the butt, and I hope to hear from you soon, your feedback. Let me know, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you want to write me. I hope you have a fabulous week, and thank you for watching. Sending you love and kisses. Bye.